Hello. If you're someone who's kind, responsible, and always trying your best, being judged by others can really feel heavy. I know that feeling. At some point in our life, we all experience moments when people judge us or give us bad feedback. And even if it's not harsh, it can still shake you, especially if you're used to being considerate, always trying not to be a burden to anyone, and putting in extra efforts for others. One thing I learned is that we could train ourselves to treat the judgments as just a piece of information, not as an attack that we have to fight against, but just like a piece of information floating in the air that we could choose to keep it or just to let go. Last year at work was in an environment where people gave honest feedback. One of the things I heard was that I'm overthinking too much and I shouldn't do that. At first, I had this uncomfortable feeling that I wasn't even able to name exactly what the emotion was. It was a mix of embarrassment, upset about the situation, and a bit of disappointment about myself. At that point, I started to ask myself, am I upset because someone criticized me, or am I upset because I don't like that part of myself? As time passed, I noticed that I had a strong ego, badly wanting approval and recognition, and I started to let go of that ego a bit by bit. I realized something surprising. I actually like the overthinking version of myself. And that's why I've always been making some time to fully digest my thoughts and organize them. So as soon as I realized that, that feedback didn't mean that I have to erase that part of myself. It just meant that it wasn't the right place and the situation to use it, or this person simply doesn't need that side of me. The next step became really simple. I had to find where my overthinking could add value. This is what actually pushed me to start my YouTube channel. I wanted to create a space where I could overthink safely and joyfully, and even maybe help someone along the way. Another piece of feedback that I received was that I'm often quiet and don't ask questions when I need to. And this time I noticed that it wasn't about the ego wanting approval. I didn't really want to keep that part of myself. I wanted to be someone who's comfortable speaking, asking questions, and receiving help. So this feedback clearly showed the gap, and I'm honestly grateful that it told me exactly what step I need to take next. That was the point when I noticed I should consciously practice my speaking skills in my daily life. So you see, learning to distinguish whether you're upset because your ego wants approval or because you found the part of yourself that you hate is so important. You don't need to seek approval for the version of yourself you want to create. So I hope you remember how you accept and use the judgments from others is completely up to you. Judgment isn't here to define you, it's just here to show you some options and directions that you could choose. What's a feedback that shook you and why did it shake you? Thank you for being here.